called Meetup. I have no affiliation with the company whatsoever except for my passion and enthusiasm for the organization. And tonight I'm going to break down what I've learned through my experiences doing Meetup. So for those of you that don't know what Meetup is, I'm hoping, how many people have actually know what Meetup in this room? Alright, so a good number. How many of you have actually met up in real life? Alright, more than I thought. But for those who don't know what Meetup is, it's essentially a social networking site that facilitates offline interaction and meetings all around the world. It's a way to self-organize locally, and through its website and corresponding mobile app, you can find and join and even create groups unified by a common interest. It thrives on this idea of meet up everywhere about most everything, and they really do mean that. I know from my personal experience, which I'll dive into a little bit later on in this presentation. Since its inception, it's grown to be one of the world's largest network of local groups. There's over close to 11 million monthly visitors, 11 million members in general, over close to 400,000 monthly meetups in over 45 cities across the world, and that number just keeps, all these numbers just keep growing, and will continue to grow as the years progress and the company becomes bigger and bigger. And they really do mean it when they say there are meetups about most everything. Here's just a few of the categories they have on their website. You can do everything from ultimate frisbee and pick-up soccer, which I'm part of on a regular basis, to something as obscure as like live action role play or LARPing, as they say, which I'm not quite taken part in yet, but I'm sure it will in the future. And they can be as broad or specific as you want. All you need to do is just plug in your interest and your location, and the website kind of just does the rest. These are two of my interests, hiking and beer. As you can see, the top one, that's hiking all around the world. A lot of people like hiking, and a lot of people also like beer in the United States. And I found on a local level in New Haven and Fairfield counties, these also kind of correspond there. And if you can't find anything for some reason that you're not interested in already, you can create your own. And it takes just a few clicks, and they do have a $5 kind of startup fee for it. But again, it's totally worth it, and you'll be able to meet an entire great community through it. At this point, I think I'm in about 15 to 20 different meetup groups, several of which I attend on a regular basis, some of which I've only gone to a few times, 3 of which I go to on a weekly, bi-weekly basis, and not including gatherings outside of the regular meetup. So I become friends with a lot of the people, and we actually have meetups outside of meetup. So you're probably wondering why I'm rambling about Meetup. First, I want to know what draws me to it specifically. It's that powerful notion of using the internet to get off the internet, and that just really strikes me. It's instead of disregarding technology, Meetup embraces and realizes its full potential to make a difference not only in communities but also in individual lives like me or you. It thrives this idea of connecting the digital with the physical with a few clicks of the mouse, and bridges that kind of somewhat blurry gap between online and offline engagement. And it kind of furthers this crazy idea of co-presence, the act of actually being together and not relying on technology solely. And I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with Robert Putnam's Bowling Alone, but in his book he discusses the decline of social capital since the 1950s, and how it becomes increasingly disconnected from neighbors, friends, even family. But technology, in my mind, can help rebuild this social capital, and that's kind of where I see the power of Meetup. In fact, this website actually emerged in the aftermath of 9/11 when the CEO, Scott Heiferman, saw the powerful community that was developing amidst this tragedy. He decided to start Meetup as a way to revitalize these local communities and provide them with a new way to connect and create movements. And there's nothing more powerful in my mind than individuals coming together around a purpose. And I mean, who wouldn't want to belong to a community like the one in Community, Chevy Chase included? He's my favorite. I know I would, and Meetup has helped me get there, specifically through one I like to call the Fairfield Rock Climbing Meetup. One of the members right over there, which I joined last October in search of developing not only rock climbing skills, but conquering my fear of heights, which I'm sure many of you also share, and more important, connecting with individuals that are like me and have shared common interests. And not only did it allow me to try something I normally wouldn't, I've become part of a real-life, tight-knit community. I found a great group of people that just happen to have common interests, and to me it's really about the people and not necessarily the topic or the activity itself. And though not to brag, I've developed some serious rock climbing skills along the way, and I think I've tackled Mount Washington Washington this summer. I've gone caving and done some light kayaking as well. Let's be climbing a rock, everyone. So all of us at this rock climbing meetup have this common interest, right? But we're generally more interested in the people attending than the actual subject or activity itself. Granted, you may not adore everyone you meet, because who actually likes everyone you meet in real life anyways, but you never know, you can meet your future best friend, a potential employer, maybe even your soulmate, none of which I happen to be yet, but here's hoping, fingers crossed. People that were formerly strangers quickly became acquaintances, and those acquaintances quickly became like really close friends. I meet them outside rock climbing on a regular basis. And when I graduated college, I moved back home to Shelton. I have a future scene destined for cat ladium, and I'd like to thank Meetup for helping prevent this so far. Not sure what it's going to be like in the long term, but it's at least delayed it for the time being. Though I'm sure I could find a meetup about cats or cat ladies, specifically. While the idea of Meetup might scare some people, I kind of throw hesitation out the door when it comes to that. Worst case scenario, you end up with a lovely gentleman named Charles who happens to be 61 years old. True story, if you want to talk to me about that later, come find me. He was a great guy. So through Meetup, and specifically the rock climbing Meetup, I've pledged to create a real face-to-face community, and I hope that you guys do as well. And if you have a terrible Meetup experience, you can come find me at one of my meetups, and I give you full permission to like punch me in the face or something. Feel free to do that.